Alright, let's face it, for some of us we yearn for the day that we can do more teaching in the classroom and less policing children and their misbehavior. We dream of school days as effortless and easy, and that they pretty much go according to what we had visioned in our head, without any of the behaviors. Like when we ask the class to line up for lunch, everybody lines up. Or when we ask the class to be quiet, everyone is quiet. Well, here's one game-changing tip that has made my job in the classroom a whole lot easier. One word: countdown. Now, if this is your first time watching, my name is Robert, and I've been in the education field for about 15 years, as well as a behavioral therapist for 5 years, and I've taken both of those experiences and education and merge them together to create what I believe is a perfect model to dealing with misbehaviors in the classroom. Now if this is your first time watching me here, I do recommend you watching my first video that gives you my whole 3-step model on how to curb undesired behaviors in the classroom. Counting down can be an incredibly powerful tool to use when trying to gain your students' attention, specifically with transitions. If you want to get the class's attention, you want to count down as a whole and reinforce if the students have completed whatever it is that you want to do. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's say that you're wanting to get the entire class to line up for lunch. Now, sometimes that takes a long time. Students are fidgeting, they go around, they pick up other things, they talk to other students, and lo and behold, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to get all these students to line up. Now, if you use a countdown and you reinforce right after you give that countdown, now that's going to be incredibly motivating for the students, and they're going to want to line up really, really fast. I'll give you an example of that. I was subbing for a 2nd grade class, and I asked them to line up. Now, before I asked them to line up, I said, I will count down from 5 all the way down to 0. If you can make it in a line without talking, hands by your side, you're not touching any of your neighbors, and it's quiet, I can have a pin drop and I would be able to hear it, then I will reinforce by giving 3 stars. Now, if you're unfamiliar with my stars, again, I recommend you watching my first video that'll introduce the prize box. But the main idea here is that you're reinforcing for seeing a desired behavior. So in this case, you're reinforcing when they line up, and that countdown just gives them that extra pressure, and they are hyper focused and zoomed in on whatever it is that you are asking. And so they don't have time to talk to their friends. They don't have time to, throw something away in the trash can and then get distracted by what's outside. They know that they have to get in that line by the time they get to 0, and it's fun for them. I always set up rules. There's no running. If we don't earn it, we're not going to shame one student or the other. But if everybody does it collectively, by the time I get to 0, then you will earn, whatever, 3 stars, 4 stars. You can flood at that point. But that's the main key. And so when I was subbing the 2nd grade class, you had some students that were helping other students to get to the line. So that's how motivated they are. It's like, oh my gosh, we gotta hurry up. I'll help you get your lunch. I'll help you get your sweater if you want. We just need to make it to that line by the time, Mr. Robert says 0. So that was incredibly reinforcing. I got it done. It didn't take anything. I didn't have to yell on top of other students, these students just initially got up, got to line. If anybody wasn't in line, they would go back and help them get to the line by the time you hit 0. Now, it doesn't get any easier than that. Another example of using a countdown would be when you are transitioning from multiple subjects. So let's say I'm going from math over to ELA. Students need to put away their math books. Students need to take out their ELA books and get even to a certain page number. Now, I've been in classrooms where that's a daunting task because it can take a very long time. Some students are just not going to listen to what page number because it's not important to them. What's more important to them is, Billy next to him is showing him he made a paper airplane, whatever it can be. So you want to make sure that you are using that countdown during those moments. Mr. Robert is going to count down from 5 to 0. When I get to 0, if everybody has their math books put away and everybody has taken out their ELA books and turned to page 27, you know what? I might just give you 5 stars or 6 stars or 7 stars. They're going to be motivated. And I've seen this in the classroom plenty of times. When you look and it's like 1, you're about to hit 0. There's kids not only turn to page 27, but they got their hands clasped right on their desks. They're looking at you. The eye contact is right on you. They're smiling. They want to get acknowledged. They know that they are part of getting those stars, and they are motivated. They are hyper-focused, getting to that page number, page 27, and on top of that, they're best behaved. It's really neat to see when you get down to it and you implement these strategies, because it does make a difference not only for yourself and for the environment in the classroom, but for the students. It's less time wasted on transitioning from one subject to another and more time that you can spend teaching, which is the most important part of it all.